Hi, welcome to my new video, and in this video I am going to show you and teach you how to use the count, the COUNTIF, and the COUNTIFs, and also the COUNTA tool, even though I've taught that in the previous video, but I just wanted to show you those two functions along with the others just to show you the difference and on how to use them and when to use them. And I'm going to also tell you what the count if and IFS is used for also, and what the count really means and what it signifies. So with that being said, let's begin. Now, count is the process of determining the number of items, things, places. It could be people, it could be money, it could be stores, it could be even states. It can even be states too. But in this instance, in this project, I am going to show you how much calculations you could do in terms of finding out how many stores is available in the list. Now, starting with the count function, I'm going to select another group of data, because if I do it by using the name of store right here, using all of this, it's not going to work because the count function only works for numbers. But the COUNTA actually works for numbers and text, so that's what I will be using. But the count, let's just say I want to see how many items has been sold in total. Control Shift down, scroll mouse wheel back up, using PC. I don't use Mac, I only use PC. And then close parenthesis, Shift 0, then hit enter. 320. Now that's what it's counting, right? Now let's delete, hit equal. Now I'm using COUNTA. It's going to determine the number of stores that's available. So I'm going to go click this cell, Control Shift down arrow, Shift scroll mouse wheel up, then Shift 0 on the keyboard to close the parenthesis using PC. Now once that's highlighted, that indicates that everything has been selected from top to bottom. And now with that being said, hit enter. 320 stores. Is 320 stores. Click down, and that's it. It's supposed to be 320 stores, right? So now I'm going to click back up again. I just click. Now what I just did was I just clicked this bottom handle here, this where it's highlighted. I clicked so I can go down, and then I click this top so I can go back up. That's just a little tip I thought I can just speak on, but yeah, you can do that if you want to work faster when you're dealing with long spreadsheets. Now with that being said, let's go. Control page down key on the keyboard. Now we dealing with the COUNTIF. Now the COUNTIF, I'm sorry, the count, yeah, here we go. Now the COUNTIF is basically the same. You are going to find the name of the stores that you're looking for, and you're going to find out how many stores, stores in the particular store that you're looking for is in New Jersey. For instance, if I want to know how many Coach stores is in New Jersey, I can go and do that. Now I'm gonna go hit Control and then click with the mouse, left mouse button, and then drag it over, and boom, there it is. That's if you didn't want to type anything. And I want to know how many stores, how many Coach stores is in New Jersey. So I'm gonna click, I'm gonna type, I say click, I'm gonna type equal COUNTIF, tab key to bring it in, and then I'm gonna select the range, and the range is what? The criteria range. That's what this means for the COUNTIF. It's the criteria range, and basically you're supposed to select the whole thing, like how you do with SUMIF and average if. It's the same thing with this too, except you're just counting the total numbers of items or places or things. But with this here, the criteria range is you select the whole group of data starting here, and then it's supposed to have data that you're supposed to look for in one criteria. So whatever data you're looking for in this group is supposed to match up with the data that you're looking for right here, which is the criteria. And in this case, it's Coach. So now I'm going to complete this since I'm on range, criteria range, because there's a store in here that I'm looking for within this group. So Control Shift down arrow, Shift scroll mouse wheel, comma, then click here, coach, shift 0 on the keyboard, close parenthesis, using PC, hit enter. There's 43 Coach stores in New Jersey, and I'm gonna do one more just to make it interesting. Let's just say I want to do Old Navy. Let's just say that. I'm gonna type Old Navy. Now I'm gonna type equal keyboard, COUNTIF, down arrow, tab. As soon as this is highlighted, you hit tab on the keyboard using PC. And then I am going to go to the criteria range, which is where my criteria is located within the group. Criteria really means that it's data that you're looking for to get your answer. So, comma, criteria range, yep, I'm back here. And now I'm going to choose Old Navy because in that criteria, that's what I'm looking for. Shift 0 for the answer. I mean, to close parenthesis using PC, hit enter. Now, as a result of that, there is 37 Old Navy stores in New Jersey based on the information that I have, based on the statistics I have. Now I'm going to go and use COUNTIF the same way, pretty much. Control, page down, to go to the next worksheet tab. Now this one I am going to do against all odds. So I'm going to click here, hold down 0, and hold down the left mouse button, and then drag so I don't have to type if I don't want to. And I'm going to do against all odds. I'm going to hit equal. I'm going to type equal using the keyboard on the PC. And then I'm going to do COUNTIF, down arrow. That blue indicates that I'm on the selected function. Tab key to bring it in using PC. Criteria range is basically the same thing that it's meant for on the COUNTIF. It's a whole group of data that has data that you're looking for inside that group. So that's what it really means. And it means and it's the same meaning for all of the if functions, which is the sum if, which I explained in the other video, and the average if, which I explained in the other videos, and so on and so forth. And it means the same thing for the COUNTIF and the COUNTIF. Now I'm going to click here, Control Shift down arrow, because it has something I'm looking for in there. Shift scroll up, comma, and what I'm looking for, against all odds. How many against all odds stores is in New Jersey? Shift 0 key on the keyboard using PC. Close parenthesis, hit enter. There are 35 against all odds stores in New Jersey. Now I'm going to do one more. Let's just say I want to do Tommy Hilfiger. Control, hold down the mouse button on the mouse, drag, and then let go. Tommy Hilfiger. I didn't feel like typing. I just wanted to drag over, and that's the easier way to work, and it's also faster. So I rely on that. I rely on that tip. I rely on that move very well, and I suggest that a lot of others do the same, especially if you're a great Excel user. But going forward, type equal COUNTIF down arrow, tab key, and then select criteria range, Control Shift down arrow, shift scroll up, comma, what I'm looking for, Tommy Hilfiger, because I want to know how many Tommy Hilfiger stores is in New Jersey. Shift 0, close parenthesis, hit enter, and voila, there are 62 Tommy Hilfiger stores in New Jersey. That's amazing, and that is a lot in my opinion, considering that New Jersey is one of the smallest states in America, in the United States. But to me, I consider that a lot. I don't know about how everybody else feels about that. But yeah, going forward, now I want to move on. Excuse me. I want to move on to data tab ribbon, the data tab ribbon, and I want to configure this. I want to go to the data validation. This is my favorite feature to use in Excel, if I didn't say that already. But I'm going to do that so that way I can select names and I can do the calculations without having to retype the functions all over again. Now I'm going to come here. As I hover over it, click the down arrow, data validation, and like I showed in the other videos, these are a whole set of options, even in the tabs, but I go over that in another video down the line. But I click down arrow, and in this instance I'm dealing with lists because I'm dealing with text and I'm dealing with names. Now I'm going to select over here, from here to right here. I just want to make sure I get this one and this one so I don't make a mistake. Yup. Yeah, just to make sure I don't make a mistake. Now I'm gonna click OK, and then I'm gonna start with a name. It doesn't matter which one it is as long as I click one. Calvin Klein. Yup. Now I'm gonna type equal using the keyboard on PC, then type the function name, Countifs, down arrow, tab key, and then come here, control shift down arrow, shift scroll wheel, type comma, move on to the next argument, and my next argument, my next syntax will be criteria. And in this case, in this instance, I'm looking for Calvin Klein. Hit that one, select that cell, shift 0 on the keyboard using PC for close parentheses, and then hit enter, and voila, I have 37 Calvin Klein stores in New Jersey. Now if I come up here, I see a whole list of options, a whole list of options which I configured myself by hand, which I find very amazing. Now I'm going to select one of these, North Face, 36 North Face stores in New Jersey. Hit guess, 37, guess, Gap, 35 Gap stores, 41 Diesel stores, 36 Victoria's Secret stores, still 36, and Tommy Hilfiger once again, 62, like this one. Oh man, this is definitely fun, and it's so much you can do with this feature. I'm going to just click the home tab on the ribbon, but yeah, it's a lot you can do with this feature, and don't be afraid to try anything new. Always play with it, always see what you can do, always see what you can get out of it, because you never know if you'll end up liking a feature better than the previous features you've already used. That's what I learned the hard way using Excel. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video the same way I enjoyed creating this content, and it was a pleasure teaching this to you. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next videos that's yet to come. Alright, see you soon. Peace.